You're midway through a project proposal when a colleague cuts you off. They smirk, casually dismantling your premise with a pointed insult. Your heart rate spikes. Your ego demands a defense. In this moment, the only thing that feels like it matters is regaining control and reminding everyone in the room who's actually in charge. Then you find it. You drop a sharp, perfectly calibrated comeback that trains the color from their face and brings the entire room to a standstill. Your brain floods with dopamine. For a few seconds, you feel absolute dominance. You've restored the hierarchy. You have won. But that rush of satisfaction functions as a biological smokescreen. It keeps you focused on the 5-second victory while obscuring the actual price of the exchange. If we freeze the room here, the reality changes. The verbal exchange has ended, but the real transaction is only beginning. By winning the argument, you've inherited a new set of long-term consequences that you are now forced to navigate. Cashing in on that short-term emotional payout means signing an invisible contract. You've traded a moment of superiority for a permanent liability. Step back from the heat of the conflict and conduct a cold audit of what that comeback actually purchased. This is asymmetrical debt. You gained one fleeting moment of satisfaction in exchange for one permanent, motivated enemy. Unlike a financial loan, this debt compounds quietly. The hostility grows steadily in the background of your daily interactions. Through this humiliation, you have transformed a peer into a dedicated adversary, someone who is now actively scanning your workflow for vulnerabilities. The perfect retort didn't remove a threat, it optimized one. Your new enemy will likely avoid direct confrontation. They will operate in the margins, where their influence is hardest to track. This takes the form of professional friction. When a promotion or a lateral move is on the table, they act as a silent roadblock during the vetting process. They use strategic silence. When a critical deadline approaches and you need their input, your requests go unanswered just long enough to jeopardize your performance. They begin the slow process of poisoning your reputation, using subtle remarks to influence the decision-makers who determine your trajectory. The fuel source for all of this sabotage is the energy you provided the moment you chose to strike back. The brilliance of your original comeback is the exact engine of your future undoing. Looking at the entire timeline, we have to determine if that temporary spike in satisfaction justifies the long-term cost. The math is clear. A brief spike in satisfaction leads to a continuous plunge in your future trajectory. The investment doesn't hold up. This is a Pyrrhic victory. Meeting the win condition of the argument causes a systemic loss in the broader context of your career. Fighting to win an interpersonal argument represents a total misunderstanding of where actual leverage lies. Sustainable victory requires a different perspective on conflict. Protecting your long-term trajectory from unnecessary friction is the priority, even if it means sacrificing the last word. The next time you have a devastating comeback ready to fire, recognize the debt you're about to take on. You secure your future by absorbing the hit and letting the other person walk away with the illusion of victory.